Good evening, good evening. It shows I am live. I checked my pulse and it was good, but you never know. Hope everyone is doing well. Might be a quick-ish night. I don't have a lot to bring to you. I woke up, I had feels like a rib is like out of place where it meets my spine, and I've been dealing with that all day. And even if I have the slightest little bitty cough, it's like somebody jabbing an ice pick in my back. So I'm looking forward to waking up tomorrow and that being back in place. That's the hope, anyway. I real quick, I want to say something before I forget. And something dawned on me this evening, and kind of, in my opinion, concerning. And that was, the world does not revolve around the United States. And I got to thinking about that tonight. And, there is a possibility, and I just want to throw this out there, that it won't matter what Trump does or says as far as Russia and Ukraine is concerned. And let me explain why I say that. Trump can take office and stop the flow of weapons and money and everything on a dime. Completely pull support. Any type of contractors we have there or anything like that, bring them home. We're not the only ones in this. So Europe and the UK can just keep on keeping on. And we aren't in control of that. And so that's just kind of a sobering thought we need to entertain a little bit. I didn't want to forget to mention that. So, howdy, Veronica. Oh, I hear you. I hear you, Veronica. Absolutely. Somebody had asked if they wanted to help, how they could. And it's not something that I put out there very often. At the bottom of your screen there, you see a couple of web links that come up. One of them is the watchmannews.com/donate, and that just takes you to our donate page. I guess I could show it to you so you know what it looks like. However, if you just go to our donate page, what it does is it redirects you to PayPal, is all it does. Hang on, I'm trying to get this typed in. Okay, so if you put that in, all it's going to do is redirect you here. And it will say donate to Transforming Disabilities, the Watchman News donation. That's us. So, and again, you can just go to the watchmannews.com/donate, or the same link is in the description of the video. So, we don't ask for it. We need it. We don't ask for it. And at this particular time, that link is only good until, well, about the 21st of next month, because the web host is coming due, the domain's coming due. I'm trying to make sure that I can keep the domain. That's only like $20, but the damn website's it's actually like 60 for the hosting. And so if I can keep the domain, that's all I'm concerned with. But I'm just letting folks know those links won't work after that date if I don't keep both, because it's a redirect. So the other link that pops up down there on the right is the watchmannews.com/Amazon. And if you use that link, what it does is it takes you straight to the Amazon website. But it does so with our affiliate link. So anything that you make, any purchase that you make after using the watchmannews.com/Amazon link, any purchase you make will just give us a little bit. It's just an affiliate link is all it is. We get a little bit commission from the sale. Doesn't cost anybody any more. So those are the two ways. That's pretty much it. It's not something we talk about very often because I don't like talking about it very often. But it is what it is. So, the thumbnail. I wanted to go over that before we get into the news. That's actually two images there. One of them, the actual background that shows like the bomb shelter, that's from ChatGPT, and I just told it to make me a picture of a bomb shelter. So that's what it came up with. The other picture is, I actually brought it up here. I already actually had it up, sorry. The other picture was done by Meta AI, and I told it to imagine me in a bomb shelter. And so that's what it did. It's kind of scary how good it makes things look. I mean, that is about as accurate as you're going to get as far as my face and stuff. My glasses are just a little bit different, but that's pretty scary. My hair's not gray either. It's kind of a brownish, a light brown. I used to be blonde, but anyway, it's my hair. I don't have any gray on my head. I've got nothing but gray in my beard, and my mustache is pretty gray. But I don't have a single gray hair, I don't think, on my head. So it's got that off. But when I took the picture for AI, in all fairness, I had my hat on, so it couldn't see my hair anyway. So I just took and I cropped out the photo of me from the image you're looking at, and I put it on the other image. But here's the interesting thing. And I'm not going to go into any detail about it, but that looks an awful lot like a place that I know. That I know fairly well, as a matter of fact. And the door on the side, though, is blue, not red, and there's no funky looking handles or anything like that on it, just a regular handle. But that's interesting. That's interesting. The place I'm talking about, it doesn't have like bricks that size either. It's definitely blocks, but they're much bigger than that. They're not regular cinder blocks either, but they're bigger than those. Interesting though. That kind of freaked me out when it like imagined me in a place that, if I could show you a picture, I would. You'd be like, holy cow. I mean, the light. I mean, it's like, yeah. Anyway, I've been watching what's going on, and a story kind of snuck up on me. Howdy, Leo. You didn't miss much. I've been watching, keeping an eye out for news, especially involving Russia and Ukraine, and I wasn't seeing anything. And then it was brought to my attention that Ukraine had hit Russia again, launched ATACMS missiles once again, this time using cluster munitions, right? So they hit an airfield, and I guess I can show you this article from Newsweek. Russian airfield hit with an ATACMS strike, says a report. And it just says Ukraine fired U.S.-made ATACMS missiles with cluster warheads at the Russian military airfield in Kursk Oblast on Sunday, according to the geospatial intelligence group Cyber Baryshno's post on Telegram. The tactical aviation airfield, Kursk Eastern, also referred to as Kursk Watchman, was hit by 2 cassette ATACMS and 2 submunitions, parts of the cluster warheads, detonated on the airfield, according to Pravda. The Geospatial Intelligence Group also posted about the Ukraine strike on X, formerly known as why do they still say that, and included a video of the strike. Newsweek reached out to the defense ministries of Russia and Ukraine for comment via email. The Ukrainian strike reportedly hit a parking lot at the airfield, but it is unknown if there were combat aircraft there at the time the missiles hit. The Kursk governor, Alexei Smirnov, posted on Telegram that the Ukrainian missile was destroyed near the border of Kursk Oblast. Smirnov also wrote on Telegram that Ukraine sent 7 missiles and that 7 drones were shot down by Russian forces. The airfield, formerly a commercial airport, was one of many airports in southern Russia shut down and made a military site after the war began in February 2022, according to the Russian news outlet Novaya Izvestia. Ukraine not only struck the military airfield last night, but it also hit a Russian missile production site, the Typhoon factory in western Russia. The factory, known for producing parts for air defense systems, combat vehicles, and coastal sets, was struck by Ukrainian missiles of an unspecified kind last night. This is not the first time Ukraine has fired U.S.-made ATACMS missiles at Russia. They targeted Russian munitions depot in Bryansk Oblast last week, shortly after President Joe Biden authorized Ukraine to use long-range weapons to conduct deep strikes in Russia. Ukraine also used British-French Storm Shadow missiles, another form of long-range weapon, to strike a Russian military compound in Kursk last week, after which Russia vowed to enact a more powerful response. Biden's authorization has led to an escalation in tension between Russia and Ukraine, and the two countries have fired retaliatory attacks at each other since last week. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky wrote on X that Russia launched nearly 150 strike drones, aerial bombs, and missiles targeting over 10 of our regions last night. He added combat operations are still ongoing against aerial targets that remain in the air. Zelensky noted that Kharkiv, Odessa, and Zaporozhye were hit in the Russian strikes. So, again, there is activity happening, but as far as the longer range strikes, there was another one made, which involved cluster munitions. Now, I saw another report that there was like 7 missiles sent and 6 got knocked down or something like that. So, it kind of leads me to ask the question, are we going to see retaliation for this? And I don't know. It's very possible. We could still yet tonight see something as a response. I think they're playing with fire here. I really do think they're playing with fire. Now, you've got other nations that are working diligently to try to get people to get as prepared as they possibly can in some of these other countries. And I think this is crazy, all of this is going on. And here in the U.S., they aren't saying nothing to nobody. Germany is suggesting turning the metro stations into bomb shelters. Now, that may have been a plan that was made a long time ago, because they wouldn't be the first ones to do that. That's actually a popular use for those underground stations. Russia, I believe, specifically built theirs to be bomb shelters. So they're probably not the only ones either. However, I'll read the article here. It says the German government is drawing up a list of public buildings to use as bunkers in the event... Oh, I didn't bring you on over. There you go. To use as bunkers in the event of a major war with Russia breaking out, an Interior Ministry spokesman has said. Among the structures being considered are metro stations, underground car parks, and some other state buildings, the spokesman told reporters on Monday. Citizens will also be encouraged to convert their own basements and garages into shelters, the official added. Once the list is compiled, Germans will be able to use an app to locate their nearest bunker. While the spokesman did not mention the Ukraine conflict during his briefing, German tabloid Bild claimed earlier on Monday that the decision to expand Germany's bunker network was made in light of the perceived threat of war with Russia. Germany emerged from the Cold War with more than 2,000 such bunkers, although around three-quarters of these have since been decommissioned. Germany's current network of 579 bunkers has space to accommodate around 480,000 people, a fraction of the country's population of 84 million, Reuters reported. Now, imagine this. If I'm not mistaken, I think Russia has room for most of their people. If I'm not mistaken. I think I've heard that. Says the so-called bunker plan was agreed in June, the official said. However, Monday's press conference came just after the U.S. and France both confirmed that they gave Ukraine permission to use ATACMS and Scalp EG missiles to conduct long-range strikes on internationally recognized Russian territory. UK has not publicly stated whether it has permitted Kiev to use its Storm Shadow, the British name for the Scalp EG missiles, although Ukrainian forces used both ATACMS and Storm Shadow missiles in attacks deep inside Russia's borders last week. Kiev has asked Berlin to follow Washington's lead and donate German-made Taurus cruise missiles, but Chancellor Olaf Scholz has thus far refused, arguing that doing so would risk Germany being dragged into the open war with Russia. I need to learn how to read, apparently. Russia responded to last week's ATACMS and Storm Shadow strikes by firing a new hypersonic ballistic missile, the nuclear-capable Orishnik, at a Ukrainian military-industrial facility in, I can't say that one, Dnepropetrovsk, sure. In a speech on Thursday evening, Russian President Vladimir Putin said that further attacks on Russian soil would be met with retaliatory strikes on targets of Moscow's choosing, which could include the military facilities of countries providing Kiev with long-range weapons. So very, very interesting stuff going on. Now, Russia, and I had this up earlier and I didn't think to bring it back up. Let me find it real quick. Well, let me try to find it. Should be easy to find. You would have thought. I look at a lot of stuff. I mean, it's an insane a lot of stuff. I really do. Hang on. It'll pop right out as soon as. Found it today. So this is what Russia is doing. This is from the Standard. I don't know much about it, but it says, what are Russia's mobile nuclear bunkers as mass production begins? I'm not going to read the whole article to you, but Russia has been building these mobile nuclear bunkers that I guess they're going to just start deploying different places, I would assume. Read a little bit here. It says the mobile shelter is a, let me close this, is a multifunctional structure that provides protection for people from various threats, including natural disasters and man-made accidents, the research institute said. It added that it was an important step towards improving the safety of citizens. Said the bunker can be deployed in Russia's vast northern permafrost and is connected to water supplies. It can function for up to 2 days while humans are not around. In addition to water supplies, it has other life-supporting systems, including heating, sewage, and air filtration and regeneration. The mass production of the nuclear bunkers, and then goes into the story of the letting them use long-range missiles, Ukraine that is. So, these countries are absolutely making moves. Um, it's not so surprising that there's not many alarms being sounded here in the United States, for many reasons. I think, for one, our politicians feel far removed from the conflict. And I don't believe that they think, whether right or wrong, I don't believe that they think Russia would strike us here. And I'm kind of in that boat. I mean, at this point, as far as like just a little tit for tat going back and forth over there, I don't see Russia escalating it to the point of actually striking a target in continental U.S. I just don't see it. Maybe a U.S. facility in another nation over there. Absolutely, I could see that. But here, I don't know. Doesn't mean that they wouldn't. Doesn't mean that they can't. I just don't really see that. I think that's one of the reasons you see the politicians here so bold. Because, it's not in their eyes, it's not their country that's going to get holes poked in it. Poland seems to be a popular choice when you war game this and talk about it. Poland seems to be a pretty popular choice as far as getting hit. Being a country that gets nailed for helping out. I don't, I couldn't tell you for sure. I know that there is a U.S. base there, and I do know that they are using it to assist Ukraine. But I'm not so sure that they won't go directly after, say, Britain or France. And again, of course, U.S. assets that would be over there. But I'm not so sure that they wouldn't hit somewhere, a military air base or something in Britain or France. I would not put money that they wouldn't, because I would make a hell of a point. Like I was saying before Russia made that strike, that they were going to do some type of a shock and awe. And that's exactly what they did. However, if Ukraine keeps up and the other nations keeps up, I see them ratcheting that up. And it's one thing to see those missiles rain down in Ukraine. Could you imagine seeing those missiles rain down somewhere in France or somewhere in Britain? That would be crazy. That would absolutely be crazy. And it would damn sure be a very big escalation. I think you would very likely see a global conflict come from that. I don't know. What I don't like the most is how long we got until inauguration. It's an awful long time to screw a whole hell of a lot of stuff up. I know I certainly would give the advice to be as ready as you can. Not out of fear, not out of any of that. But none of us can sit here and say it won't happen to us. I mean, of course we can say it, but that holds no weight. I'm sure that there are many people throughout history that didn't think this or that could happen to them. I'm sure each and every one of us have had things that's happened in our life that we didn't imagine would happen. I don't know what the future is for this country or Anybody over there in Europe, UK? Right now, things are looking a little dicey. Again, there's a lot more time than I'm comfortable with between now and inauguration, that's for sure. They seem pretty hell-bent. Again, even if we can sneak till inauguration day and get Trump at the helm, even if he does pull all support, all personnel, and gets the United States out of there, it doesn't mean that the European nations, the UK, the UK, that they won't continue on and support Ukraine and keep the war going, because they absolutely will. I know now there is at least talk, and I don't know exactly who's doing the talking or how serious it is, but there is apparently talk of sending nuclear weapons to Ukraine. There's certainly enough time for them to get that job done. All bets are off if we give Ukraine nukes. And I mean all bets. If we give Ukraine a nuke, and Ukraine launches it, uses it against Russia, especially if they get a hit, I do believe that is a situation where Russia will hit us here. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. It's not a good situation. It's just not. I never, the Cold War closed up. That was over with. And once that died down, I didn't think about nuclear war again until all of this stuff. Because I felt like things were pretty kosher in that realm. I don't know, man. It's not good, though. Absolutely not good. So keep an eye on that. Make sure you kind of keep an ear close to news. And again, I'll say it. Make sure you're as ready as you can be. It's the only thing that we can do. The only thing we can do. Really don't know what else to say. I don't have any other news. Like I said, I'm figuring it's going to be a quick night. I want to get laying down. It's like right between my shoulder blades. And if I cough even remotely hard, it's like somebody jabbing an ice pick right into my back. It hurts like hell. Been that way ever since I woke up. I got out of bed that way. I could hardly walk to the living room. It sucked. And I've tried all day. I've tried popping it. I've tried, and no luck. So I'm anxious to get on that heating pad with some ibuprofen in me and fall asleep, because it's not nearly the first time that this happens. And usually, if I can get the muscles to relax, I go to sleep. By the time I wake up the next morning, I guess it slips itself into place or whatever, and I'm good. I don't know. I've got serious joint problems. I know that much, but I don't know how serious they are. I have no idea. And you guys have seen the big freaking knot on the back of my neck. That's actually been getting bigger and harder. So, still no idea what the hell that is. So, it's what it is. We all got to go sometime, I suppose. Whenever the Father's ready, I'm ready. I'm ready. Anyway, I don't have anything else this evening, so I'm gonna bounce out and go get relaxing. I hope everybody has a good night. God willing, I will be back tomorrow night. We'll do it again. You too, brother. You take it easy as well, man. I will talk at you all tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I hope everybody has a good night. As always, shalom. Thank you, Clyde. Thank you.